Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fictitious Dark, where we explore the line between the truth and the fictitious. I'm Josiah, and I'm here with my co-hosts.
Rick.
Brandon.
And today we have a very special secret episode where we will be going over not a general topic, not a movie. We're not going to rip anything to shreds. We are going to be examining something that was told to us. We're going to be talking about something that Brandon approached us with in the Discord as we were discussing future video ideas. And I think, I can't tell the story properly because Brandon's the one who brought it to our attention. So I'm going to pass it over to you, my man.
All right.
Let us in on what this thing is.
Yeah. So my brother, who lives in Texas and works at a bar over there. The bar owner was alerted one night. He had a notification from his security system for the cameras. And this particular camera system, it has sensors in the bar, and if the sensors are triggered, it takes a single photo each time the sensor's triggered. And so this night at 3:44 a.m., the sensors were triggered and the camera took a photo. And this is the only photo. And the owner sent this out to his employees, and we're like, well, what's going on here? This guy swears that it's true. He swears he's not photoshopping this or anything. Considering we have a timestamp and everything, seems that obviously it's possible to fake it, but we're not going to worry about faking stuff. Right? That's a whole discussion, So we're just going to examine what we got here. And so it's just the front bar camera that went off. And if you guys look at this photo here, there's pretty dark on the left. There's light on the right. And you can see that timestamp of 3:44 a.m. But in the darkness over here, what is that figure in the middle of it towards the left? To me, that looks like the side profile of a woman standing there.
Yeah.
Looks
Dark
like a woman
hair,
in a nightgown.
a nightgown, or no, it's definitely probably a nightgown because it's not like a straight jacket. That would look a bit different. You can see the outline of the arm on the side there.
Yeah.
Now,
So it's not.
one thing that does look fairly interesting about this photo is the fact that the woman here, she has the same on the outlines. You can see I don't know what to necessarily call it, but just the camera quality with the lighting and everything. You'll see up at the top of the bar ceiling, there's blue lines on the edges and there's orange lines. That's just from some sort of light reflection thing, and the quality of the camera is what that comes down to, I believe. If you guys know, Rick, I don't know if you know something better about explaining what that thing is.
It's showing that from the camera is showing that there's some kind of to me some kind of refraction of the light.
Exactly. So you can see that at the very top of the frame of the photo, and as you can tell, this side profile of this woman, it has the same refraction of lighting. You see the orange on kind of the left, her front side, and then more so where the arm would be, you see the blue. So if this was a case of Photoshop, pretty smart to think about that.
Something else that might seem obvious to say is if the bar camera takes a photo every time there's movement near the bar, but there's only one photo, that means it was there for a second.
Yeah.
And if let's again, putting aside faking it, no one could enter and exit without more images being captured theoretically.
And to be clear, nobody was in the building at all. Everything is completely closed down. Nobody was in the building.
And like I think most of these security cams are like shot at 60 frames per second. So
it should be, yeah.
Yeah, there's a very little chance that it missed somebody walking through.
Yeah, that it would have to be this, and something else that's interesting. You notice if you look at the angle of the camera, because we have the straight-on photo of the bar that Brandon has provided. This camera angle is not dead on; it is tilted. So when I look at this, the tilt plus her almost leaning back, it almost appears as if, from my point of view, she should be at like this kind of angle almost.
Yeah.
Like in terms of lean, like if we were seeing her dead on, she would almost be like, not that, maybe like that or even that.
Yeah. She's not perpendicular. She's literally like, it's almost like you said, she's at like a 45-degree angle from like what the ground should be at.
Yeah, it's like she's being suspended.
Yeah.
And I'm saying she because I thought about maybe this is a hood, but I don't think so, because the clothes are very clearly light and the hair is very clearly dark.
Yeah, and then you can see somewhat of like a nose as well.
You can see somewhat of a nose, and then again, like, you see the outline of an arm, and then if you look at the very bottom, the crushed blacks down there, it does look like shoes.
Yeah.
It does look like there is some kind of form, like feet or footwear down there.
Some legs too, and then
yes.
Also, like the further you go down, it's starting to dissipate too. It's not as strong of a body source as like what we have in the middle and at the top. So
yeah,
it's almost like your traditional ghost of what we're seeing, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, this is interesting. I've seen this sort of thing before, but to have like a direct source, like a direct line from Brandon to his brother to the bar owner,
and it's like almost a thing that like now that we have the source where it's someone that's most likely telling us the truth. It's like that idea of being what's the word I'm thinking of not believing in is like kind of going away, and it's making me be like, okay, so what could this be? If it's not a ghost, then what is this? Because it's 1/60th of the frame. It's just crazy. And then before I let you guys jump on some more of this photo, it's like almost we're getting like it's not the same shade. I was like, on the color picture we have of the bar, there's like a blue light in the room back there, but it's not the same blue. So
one thing which maybe because maybe it's not necessarily in the photo, maybe it's just the fact that this is a picture of a screen, and that's why we're getting these color reflections, because if you look at the letters up bar 1 at the bottom, it has that blue and orange as well. So that kind of tells you that it might be just because it's a photo of a screen, which also tells you that the figure is in that original screen.
And I could see that being true because of the refresh rate. It could have that bluish.
So there's nothing as far as like the location and I didn't really dig too much as far as the history of the location. Who knows? But there's nothing as far as like my brother has never had some ghosty experience. Feels like he's being watched. Nothing like that. However, I was asking. I was just like, well, any sort of other backstory, like any other information you can give me? And he said he recently picked up this bar owner recently picked up a lot of furniture from an old abandoned hospital.
Oh,
and it looks like a nightgown. Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's what my brother said. He said, "She in a nightgown, spooky."
So she might be tied to some kind of artifact then.
Maybe.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I'm like, do we have like some kind of hospital nearby or something like that? That was gonna be my next thing. That's
And
interesting.
correct, you are.
Huh.
Yep.
Uh,
Hospital items.
mm-hmm.
Uh,
Man. Okay.
And
So who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, there you got all sorts of stuff as far as attachments, residual hauntings that could be attached to things. Who knows?
yeah,
Yeah.
and it could, bars are like one of the major things of like with how we drink. We drink to, get away from emotions. Sometimes drinking exacerbates emotions, and what's the one thing that we learned from reading is that our emotions give out energy, and that energy can give way to certain spirits.
Bars
Mm-hmm.
would
So,
be a place of very unrestrained
yeah.
energy, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's called spirits for a reason. Alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying that the bar was called that. I was like, that's funny.
No.
Uh, This
Yeah.
is like a really cool picture. It's really interesting. It's
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
it also doesn't give me that typical when I look at the picture for one last time. It just doesn't give me that typical ghost where it's like almost see through. You can see through it. It shows that it has like almost some kind of physical form.
And I'm
Yeah.
noticing here, now that I look a bit closer, is it's definitely not a long-haired man. It's definitely a woman because you can see the outline of a breast there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, it does seem to have a physical form, if only for a second.
Yeah.
It had a physical form. So, perhaps it was like a phantasm, and then for a moment it entered our reality and then disappeared. Which really, now that I'm thinking about it, like, perhaps that's the case for a lot of hauntings, where you can't recreate the phenomena because the spirit only appears for a moment, and so it's enough for the person to see it, and then they just like never see it again, or nobody else sees it because it was just there for that moment. But the person kind of feels it around still, but it's not physical anymore. So it's just like a feeling they get, like, oh, I know it's still there, but nobody ever sees it because it was just there for a moment.
Well, also,
Yeah.
here's a thought as far as something that is just there for one moment. Maybe there's other stuff that happens, but it's like it's not repeating the same exact thing, and you can't recreate it. A portal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like maybe certain haunting things, certain objects. It's not necessarily that it's a exact particular spirit or ghost or demon or whatever that is haunting that object and attached to that object, but that object has portal properties, so it's more so a doorway into the spirit realm or some other realm, something like that. And that's why you get mixed results, because who knows what's going to come through.
Yeah.
So this would be something that you'd like, maybe we should keep an eye on, or keep contact with your brother and seeing if there's anything else that comes around, because I don't know if maybe the owner bought the stuff for the, mayhem room or rage room or whatever they call them, to tear apart, or did he buy them for decorations for the bar? And if they're
For furniture, I'd imagine it was just, for couches for sitting, stuff like that.
yeah.
Um,
So
the
this
question.
could be.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say this could be something that could be a normal thing if it's stuff that's being used, and with it being at a bar, with, like we said, with all the emotion and all the energy, this could be something that could be a reoccurring thing. It could not be just the spirit that we're seeing, but we could see different energies that could be coming through. Like you said, it could be some kind of portal.
Yeah. And the real question is, did he buy this furniture? Did he just snag it because it was there? And if he bought the furniture, did he buy it from a guy who had a mustache that he was twirling and was like, hey, here's some furniture, see?
Yeah. Got it.
It's all to death
for you.
us.
Yeah.
Some sinister furniture. You never
Yeah.
know. But that is all the facts I got about this. Nobody currently knows. I mean, bar owner swears that it's real. So
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, is if he sticks to this for another month or so, it's like, well, I mean, like, come on now. If it's just a joke, like,
Yeah.
he's because he's not telling this to customers, presumably. He's just telling it to the employees. So
Yeah.
there's no real like benefit of like, oh, hey, go to the bar and check out the photo of the ghost that's here. You know, like
mhm.
that'd be
Yeah.
one thing to like drum up interest. But it seems like he genuinely believes that this happened, and unless you know, the cameras for some reason didn't operate correctly this one night, and someone somehow did get in and was there and then immediately left after like a few seconds. I don't
Yeah.
know, but it's just kind of weird.
And one last thing I wanted to
Strange.
point out is that if this takes picture of motion, she's not moving.
No.
She's kind of just sitting there.
So this
Floating.
is again, this is why the leaning is kind of weird. She's almost like Michael Jackson leaning
Yeah.
back, but presumably she just appeared leaning,
Yeah.
because otherwise you would catch the moment of her starting to lean. 'Cause that would
Exactly.
be walking there and then leaning.
Yeah.
So that's what's so weird about it, and why it's so interesting.
So we got
The only argument I could have for it being photoshopped, if we do
Uh-huh.
find out if it's Photoshop, is because she's perpendicular to the ground of the actual photo of what we're taking is taken,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
and not perpendicular with the ground of the actual bar. So
Right.
that could be
Fair.
something that could be leaning on the Photoshop part.
Mm-hmm.
Good point. If there is some sort of follow up of this being more fictitious than it is dark, we will make sure to have a follow up video on those facts.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you guys have any ideas what this could be, we would love some investigative help. We love the conversation of actually like talking about this, because we're not any experts in ghosts at all. We like this stuff for fun. It's entertaining for us. It's interesting to us. It's all of the above. So
Like, subscribe, comment, and watch more videos.
yeah.
And
Sure.
sleep well out there,
Yep.
Or don't.
or don't.
Ooh. Don't go floating away like this ghost.
Okay, bye.